This is Stuart Cameron with a look at yesterday's rugby from the Borders. And this week it was all about Cup rugby, so congratulations to Selkirk on winning their 5th match out of 5 in the Border Cup competition on Friday night. They came from 14-6 down to beat Peebles 24-17. The boot of Michael McVie with 4 penalties and a conversion was key to the win. Gavin Craig and Ryan Crockett were Selkirk's try scorers, while Adam Clark and James Hamara touched down for Peebles. Selkirk's win means they qualify for the Scottish Cup quarter-final, where they'll get a home tie against one of the 4 teams from the British and Irish Cup. With Selkirk victorious, it meant the games between Jed and Kelso and Hawick versus Hawick YM were dead rubbers yesterday, but the 2 games gave us 15 tries in all. Mansfield Park was supposed to host the first ever competitive game between Hawick and Hawick YM, but 50 minutes before kick-off, the match was switched to over the fence at Mansfield Hoch. It was very competitive in the first half, with YM getting the edge in the forward battle, but it was the Greens' backs who caused the Redskins real problems, with Neil Rennick in fine form. He scored 28 points on his own, 2 tries, 6 conversions and a couple of penalties in a 53-10 win. Graham Hogg, Craig Smith, Keith Davis, Lee Armstrong and Greg Cottrell scored the other tries for Hawick, while a penalty try, converted by Dean McCracken, who also kicked a penalty, put YM into double figures. After the historic match-up, I spoke with the Greens' Graham Hogg and first YM coach Jamie McFarlane.
Yeah, well, we're trying to avoid injuries, but we're also trying to avoid letting in 50 points. So we're disappointed in that respect. It was always going to be a case of trying to prevent Hawick from playing their wide game, because they've got the good strike runners out wide that can cause problems, as you saw. And we were trying to turn it into some form of jathered bar, really. That was the plan, and unfortunately it never was executed proper.
A weird old game, really. Obviously a piece of history, first time the clubs have met, but in a competitive game. But really, as far as a lot of people are concerned, there was a lot of apprehension about the match.
Well, I mean, for both clubs, really, it was a dead rubber. The Hawick Club have got Prem 1 to aim for, and they've got some vital games coming up. We've got the same situation in our league, where we've got games coming up that mean much more than these RBS Cup games. They're pretty much meaningless now because Selkirk are through, and congratulations to them. But when we're as skinny as numbers at both clubs, it's about keeping people safe and healthy for the big challenges ahead.
Now, you'll be pleased, obviously, with the Pax performance, which was pretty impressive.
Yeah, we did well at scrum time in particular. I couldn't really complain too much of that. The line out misfired. The changes probably were us coming off and Gary, who was playing the back row, moving up. Perhaps we made too many changes in the forward pack as the game went on, and we became a bit disorganised because of that. But also fair play to Hawick, because Hawick defended the line-outs very well.
But of course it's all about the rest of the season now and going for promotion.
Yeah, well, we've got another week. Next week we've got an RBS Cup tie again at Kelso, which we could probably do without on Friday night. And then after we get that out of the way, we can genuinely start refocusing on the big games coming. Peebles on the 16th here is a massive game for us and Peebles. It's a make or break probably for both clubs.
So 53 points to 10, be deeply satisfied obviously to get 50 points against the noisy neighbours.
The noisy neighbours. We knew all week it was going to be a tough game. It's good for the town to have 2 teams sort of at this level and in the cup. So we're reasonably happy coming away with that result in the end.
How much of a disappointment was it to kind of move over to the Hoch to play? I mean, obviously a lot of the guys are used to playing over there, but even still it would have been good to have it at Mansfield Park.
Yeah, I would have liked it at Mansfield. Obviously Mansfield's a lot wider than the YM pitch, and but when you see the state of it, safety of the boys is more important. So everybody wanted a game, so it's quite good that the YM was playable. Could get a game.
And a little bit about the history of the event. Obviously, I mean, it's a long history for each club, and the first competitive match between the two.
Yeah, as I say, it's great for the town to have 2 teams at this level, and as you've seen, especially first half, it was a really competitive game, and to have 2 teams at this level playing in the cup. It can only bode well for the town.
So much to play for.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's an important time of the season for both clubs. A few games up in Glasgow the next few weeks that are must win, and I think looking in the changing room, everybody spoke about that already, and everybody's looking forward to those games. And
you can see highlights of that game later on today on Borders Rugby TV at bordersrugby.net. Plenty of action down Riverside Parkway, where Jed Forest were looking to do a quick double over their neighbours Kelso, but in a highly entertaining match it ended in a 27-all draw. Kelso scored 4 tries to 3, with Ian Wallace scoring twice and Gregor Miller and Dom Buckley touching down for Kelso, while Jed's 3 tries went to Ross Goodfellow, Lewis Young and Scott Rayburn. Reaction from Kelso skipper Chris Riddell.
Against Jed, it's never an easy game. It's always a derby, and you should look forward to playing these games because it's really good. It's never a nice game, it's always a nasty game, but it's good to be part of them games, definitely. If we had another 5 more minutes to end, I think we would have upped it, but all due to Jed. They came at us first half, they deserved the tries they got, but we came in the second half, which was positive.
And the Jed viewpoint from interim coach Kevin Barry.
We played some good rugby, kept ball for length of period, we had a good lead. Again, they got back in the game, they did start well in that second half, but when Lewis got that yellow card and when you lose 14 points when a man's off for 10 minutes, and it really brought them back in the game, and that's where we lost it. I thought the last maybe couple of minutes where Yid had a chance on to maybe win the game. He's done it before, yeah. Maybe just inside the halfway, but it didn't go there. Again, it's that pressure. The points came today, which was good for us. And I said to the boys, we put a good shift in today, a lot of passion in it. But we played some good rugby in that first half, kept the ball well. In the second half, I thought the game got killed at the breakdown area, and we couldn't really get back into our game. And as I say, the yellow card really cost us dearly.
In the Border Shield competition, Berwick could have won the competition with a win, but were shocked at Scremerston by Gala YM, who won 15-13. With Langholm losing to Duns 15-9, it means that Berwick are still in pole position to win the Shield. Langholm, incidentally, were only able to field 13 men for the game, so a fine effort despite the result, and they're the only team who can now catch Berwick to win the title. In the other Shield game, Hoyk Lindeen beat Hoyk Harlequins 27-0 in the other derby in the town. Finally, I mentioned 2 St Boswells who travelled to Murray House for their semi-final match in the East Region Bowl. They won 71-0 and they now face Broughton in the final on February the 23rd. Next week, games in the area kick off at 12:30 because of Scotland-Italy at Murrayfield at 2:30. And in the Premiership, Gala and Melrose are both at home to Aberdeen and Edinburgh Accies respectively. Selkirk and Hoyk both have National League games to play on the road, while in the Border Cup, Peebles will play Jed Forest at the Gites on Friday night, while Kelso host Hoyk YM, that's at Pointer Park, on Saturday. For a full list of fixtures and for all the latest news, results, video, audio and rankings, you can go to bordersrugby.net.
Stark, Main & Co. are a UK award-winning firm of chartered tax advisors and accountants committed to offering high-quality tax and business advisory services. With a committed and professional team, we have the focus and drive to help you change the numbers which are important to you. We are proud of the difference we can make together.